we are tying the TFP Party on Top Caddis. So start with a 1 extra long dry fly hook, and I'm putting down actually 14-aught Vivas thread, but you should really use 10-aught. I just don't have any, or 70 ultra thread, or 8-aught Danville, whatever you like to use, as long as it's brown, I guess, is the main thing. The next thing we're going to put on some, oh, did I just make my CDC feathers go away? They're there. Okay, then we're going to put some, what is this stuff called again? I forgot again. Sexy Floss.
Sexy Floss.
This is copper brown color Sexy Floss. You can use Span Flax or Wonder Wrap or any of those materials. Is basically the same material that you use to tie like a Purple Haze body with.
Patch rubber legs. Rubber legs.
Well, you can use these for patch rubber legs. Guess they do that now, don't they? And then you're just gonna wrap this towards the front of the hook. I like the way this body looks, so on a lot of my Caddis patterns, I use this stuff for the body material. Actually, I think maybe all of them.
It sticks in the film really nice.
Yeah, it looks good in the water, and it looks like actual Caddis from underneath, so I'd recommend using it. Oh, almost forgot a step.
Your special dubbing.
Oh yeah, my little dubbing thing. Okay, so you take some superfine dubbing. This is like the amber color of superfine dubbing, and we're gonna just create a little bump right before we put the wing on, just so the wing rides as high as we can make it. I take a little bit of squirrel dubbing, spiky squirrel brown dubbing, and I mix it with the superfine, just my fingers. I don't really know if this matters a whole lot, but I do it. It's part of the fly, so do it right. And then you don't have to dub it on real tight.
So it's just like tying an intruder.
That's what you said last time. You really want to make this a streamer.
I like streamers.
Just isn't.
The first ever Caddis streamer pattern.
So then you just got that little bit of dubbing sitting there. The next thing we're going to do is we take a little partridge. This is, like Fred says, probably one of the magic parts of the fly, because this does sit underneath the water column. I clip the very tip and just create a V, and the tips just kind of go back to kind of where the round bend of the hook is. You tie that in, and then those feathers will spray out. Then you can just clip the end. Okay, so you got your partridge on. That gives it a nice mottled look from underneath. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to tie on 2 CDC feathers. I just use natural, it's just a natural mallard. Just line up the tips so they look like they're one feather. And we're going to tie those so that they reach the bend of the hook in the back. Tie those on. So we do that, and then we are going to add the elk hair so that they float better and for visibility. So just stack your normal amount of elk hair that you use on an elk hair caddis or any stimulator or whatever, and line those tips up with the CDC for the most part. It's really, the fish isn't going to see this elk hair. And then I have 14-aught threads, so I gotta be careful. And then just take like 4 or 5 strands of elk hair at a time and pull them back, just to make sure that we really get this wing locked in well. That works better, right, Fred?
Yeah, that totally
helps. Okay.
Especially over that intruder bump.
Yeah, over the intruder bump. And then you're just going to cut the wing off, the excess elk hair. And then on this part of the fly, because you're going to add dubbing over this, we really need to make sure we cover all these little spiky things really well. Sometimes when I'm tying for myself, I don't do that, and then this fly You kind of got to make sure that it has a ramp up here because you're going to dub this section. So just make sure that it's a gradual slope towards the head, and that we cover all the elk hair so that the dubbing can lay flat. How's this looking on this side here?
Got your brown dubbing.
Oh yeah, that looks good. Yeah. And then we're just gonna add some spiky brown squirrel dubbing just to make it look kind of like buggy on the front end of the fly. And if you've looked at a caddis, the front side is very dark. So just kind of loose dub the spiky brown squirrel dubbing around the head of the fly here on the head that we just prepared. Let it wrap around itself so that you lock those fibers in really good. And then you're just going to do a 4-turn or so whip finish.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh,
Okay,
A TFP
I lost
4.
track.
TFP4, and then that's it.
Swing on a sink tip.
You can fish on a sink tip, Fred, if you want to. And that is
Party on top.
the. Let me rotate it one time around to here, Austin, because you really want to see the bottom of that fly.
Beautiful. Look at
It
that.
really does
That's
look
what the fish see.
caddisy on the bottom. So that is the party on top caddis.